सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारश्चान्दकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। परब्रह्मनिष्ठं स्वतो धर्मनिष्ठम् अहिंसैकनिष्ठं स्वशिष्यैः सुजुष्टम् यतीनां वरिष्ठं गुरूणां गरिष्ठम् दयानन्दरूपं मदाचार्यमीडे। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Take up the first shloka. So, before I proceed, this stotra consists of consists of 43 verses. It is in praise of Shiva's Mahima, glory, the greatness of Shiva. Generally, this stotra is very popular in the north, in most of the ashrams, in Rishikesh, Haridwar, Uttarkashi, etc. And usually they have a Shivalinga that is installed and they chant this stotra during the evening arati. Somehow it is not so popular in the south. In the south, Shivananda Lahiri is more popular. Okay. In the north, they chant it with a special tune. So I am going to use that tune alone here for chanting. Okay. So with this first I start and then we'll get Mahim naf param te Parama vidusho yadya sadrishi Stutir brahmadinam api tadavasannaastvayi giraha atavachya sarvaha swamati parinama vadigrinan Mamapyesha stotre Haranirapavada parikaraha. So, I kept the class for 1.25 hours so that first 10 minutes, 15 minutes I can familiarize you with the chanting. But today, because class schedule slightly changed and also a little upset, so with just one sloka's chanting, I'll go ahead with the class. So Shiva is considered as a personification, he stands for Vairagya, dispassion, Tyaga, sacrifice, Dhyana, etc. That's why he is also called Bhairagi or Vairagi, Tyagesha, Tyagaraja, Yogesha, Yogiraja, like that he is given these names. So the uniqueness of this work is, it is not only a stotram in praise of Shiva, but it also gives us some insight into Vedanta. It makes us think of certain basic fundamental questions. The author is supposed to be Pushpadanta. He was a Gandharva Raja. Gandharva is one type of celestials who are superior to us, more exalted than us. And the verse number 33, 38, etc. indicate that Pushpadanta is the author of this work. So Pushpadanta actually, the meaning if you look into, one whose teeth are like flower. Actually, if you take Tamil, in Tamil when they describe, so you can take it like, like the white jasmine bud. So usually mullai povala muruval in Tamil they say. So this his teeth is like that, and therefore another name that has been used in this work itself for Pushpadanta is Kusumadanta. Okay. So because Pushpa and Kusuma are synonyms. Okay. So Gandharva, as I told you, is a Deva Vishesha. They are more exalted, superior to human beings. They are supposed to be very fond of and also well versed in the fine arts like music, dance, the various drama, various vadyas, etc. Now, in the Ashtotara of Dakshinamurti, in the morning Ashtotara, in fact, you have got a special nama, Yaksha Geyatma Vaibhavaya Namaha. So, the one whose greatness has been sung by this Yaksha Gandharva. Okay. So, background of this stotra is, so in Benares, in Kashi, the king had a special flower garden, big flower garden, for the sake of getting flowers for puja of Vishwanatha. Usually in those days, they always have a big garden attached to a temple so that always there will be flowers for the puja. So these flowers from this garden were meant for the Nitya Puja of Kashi Vishwanatha. Suddenly they started finding that the flowers, there are buds in the evening, then the flowers are missing in the morning. So they were not able to get flowers for the puja. Perhaps, I think then they had to get flowers from elsewhere. So they tightened the security, everything, and so made all of them be on the vigil. But still they could not find the thief. Then with the help of scholars, etc., they thought over it, and then they decided this person is not coming on foot to the garden. Perhaps he must be coming from above and alighting in the garden. So what they did was, this again brings a very nice point to us. What they did was, the flowers that have already been offered to the Lord, and before the next day's puja, they are all removed. They are called nirmalyam, the used flowers. See, that's a special word that is used. Now we should remember that it is not that only fresh flowers are there meant for the sake of Ishvara. Even the flowers that are offered for Ishvara actually are considered as sacred. That's why you are not supposed to stamp, you are not supposed to throw it anywhere with whatever leftover eaten food or anything. You are not supposed to stamp on it. So you have to consider that also with a lot of respect. So what they decided is they will take the nirmalyam from from the temple and strew it around the plants. Okay. Then this person, if he has to pick the flowers, he will perforce has to stamp on the nirmalyam. And if he does that apachara, if he does the mistake, then he may lose his, if at all he comes flying, he has got some power of flying and coming, then he will lose that power. So we can catch him red-handed. And it worked. So they caught hold of him and then they took him in front of Lord Vishwanatha. See, another very interesting thing, these are all things which we have to know in our culture. In many temples, whatever belongs to the temple, it is always in the name of that Lord. Even when they file cases, it is the Lord who is filing the case. Somebody will stand, the trustee will do it on behalf. So any justice that has to be done is the apachara, the mistake is done towards the Lord, so he was taken there. Of course, the king would be there. And so he was asked to do some atonement for that. And so they too, in order to get rid of the papa that he got by apachara. Okay. So, as their plan worked, and now he was caught. So for this aparada, the mistake committed towards Ishvara, Pushpadanta, of course, being a Gandharva Raja, etc., these people could not punish him in the usual way. But he understood his own aparada. Aparada means the mistake that he has committed towards the Lord. And therefore, he wrote this stotra as an atonement, as a prayaschitta for the mistake that he committed. Now, any stotra can be at 3 levels. So, in our culture, we have got so many different gods, if you can use the word, so many, and each one has got a particular name. So, particular name, particular description, then a particular way in which he has manifested to the people, and what all special things that he has done. Then all that is specifically for that person. Like for example, if you want to say something about Shiva, then you say he is Parvati's husband and he has got 2 sons like this, and then the description is there and what all he has done, etc. Supposing you take Krishna, then you are talking Radha Lola, all the Yashodanandana, all those things you say, and also how you describe him and what all he has done. So it can be for a specific deity, what all is specific for that person. Then it can be of each one is looked upon as the total Ishvara. So it can be in praise of Ishvara in general, with the Maya Sahita Ishvara. So the one who creates, the one who protects, the one who dissolves the world, the one who blesses everybody with their various, the results of their actions, etc. Or the praise can be at the level of Nirguna Brahman, formless, attributeless. Any Ashtotaram, any Sahasranama you take, or many of the stotras, you will find at these 3 levels it will be there. So this has to be kept in mind. Again, when another point that is to be kept in mind, whenever a stotra is written about a particular devata deity, for example, Shiva in this particular thing, Shiva is considered as the highest, ultimate, and all others are sort of subservient. So, if the stotra is about Vishnu, then it will be written in such a way that Vishnu is the highest and then all the others are subservient. So, because this is done with an understanding that there is only one ultimate thing, all others are just manifestations. So, a devout Hindu has no problem. When he chants Vishnu Stotra, he is happy chanting Vishnu is the highest. If he is chanting Shiva Stotra, he or she is happy chanting that it is the highest. So it is not out of confusion. This is the way of looking at the thing. Okay. Now in this particular first stotra, this shloka, Pushpadanta questions his own adhikaritvam. eligibility to write a stotra on Shiva. So now let's look at the first line. Okay. Te mahimnaha paramparam avidushaha stutihi. So this stuti, I mean any stuti, a praise. Stuti means a praise. So any stotra, any stuti, any praise that is written by one who is avidushaha, who is avidwan, who does not know the paramparam, the greatest extent, te mahimnaha, of your glory. So any stotra, any praise that is written about you, O Lord, who never doesn't understand the great extent of your glory. That parampara means the greatest extent, the ultimate extent of that glory, because it is very difficult to know. So therefore most of the people do not know. So tasya avidushaha stutihi yadi asadrishi. When a person doesn't know properly and then there is a praise given, that praise is always never going to be sadrisha, equal to what your true glory is. It always falls short. It can never be equal to your glory. So it cannot do justice to your glory because of the ignorance. The praise will always fall short. See, that's why Puja Swamiji used to say that people think that whenever people are doing prayers and offering stutis to Ishvara, so some people say this person wants to flatter Ishvara and get benefits. See, a local person you can flatter. See, the flatter word is called in many of the Indian languages mukastuti. So in front of that person you do the flattery. Okay. Now maybe your boss, somebody, now you flatter that person because you want some advantages from that person. So you flatter this person, you are wonderful like this, nobody is like this, etc. But honestly, if you look at it, in your heart of hearts, my Lord, I have to praise this fellow. I have to say all sorts of things when he doesn't deserve anything. This is what is running in your mind, but at the same time you praise this person, you are wonderful, you are Chandra, you are Indra, you are all sorts of things. That person also falls for it because that person has got an inferiority complex about himself or herself. And therefore they always feel when somebody is praising, oh wonderful, how nice I am, because the person, for that person, he is not acceptable to himself. He always has a low opinion. So when somebody boosts up, he feels very happy. Now let us take the Lord. Okay. See, in the case of the boss, you know everything about him, you know all his problems, all the weaknesses, all the problems, etc. But then you try to say something more about him which is not there. Now what do we know about Ishvara to say anything more than what he is? Honestly. So beautifully Swamiji used to say, now you say, Lord is omniscient, omnipotent, then omnipresent, etc. Hey, do you know the spelling of omniscient? Always in English there is a problem. Whenever this I and E come together, and then when there is a C before that, there is one type, which should come first, which should come later. In other cases, it comes different. So it's always a problem here. So when we don't know even that, and then all right, okay, I won't say omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. I'll say all-knowing, all-powerful, all-pervading, etc. Okay, even then, do you know the extent of all? Can we say what all is included in all? I have included everything that is to be said under this all. There is nothing more. Can any of us say that? No. So the biggest dictionary also has got, doesn't have words for so many things which we have discovered, which has been discovered, which are yet to be discovered, etc. So none of us can really know the extent of all. That's why Swamiji will say these are all nice things, Swamiji has a way of hitting into our head. Then he will say the only thing, now safely you can say, there is nothing the Lord doesn't know. You are safe. There is nothing the Lord cannot do. Safe. There is no place where He does not pervade. Then you have covered everything. So like this, our knowledge always falls short, far short of what Ishvara is. Now, how can you, Mukhastuti, flattery means saying more than what the person is. When you don't know what the person is, how can you say anything more? Number one. Number two is, who falls for the flattery? Person who has got a low opinion about himself. Ishvara doesn't have any low opinion about himself. Whether you praise him, you don't praise him, he is happy, he is Purna, he is self-contented. He doesn't need our praise at all. For him to feel, oh wonderful, all my bhaktas are, praising me, so I must be somebody wonderful. So I must give that person something. No. So you cannot ever flatter Ishvara. Anybody's praise is always falls short of what the Lord is. That's why the next line he says, once a person does not know the full extent of Ishvara's glory, it will be always asadrishi. It will never be equal to what it is. And tat tarhi then brahmadinam api giraha tvai avasannaha. Even the greatest among the people is Brahmaji. And the Brahmaji and other devas also, who are supposed to be far exalted than us, their giraha, their words also, tvai avasannaha, they are not able to do justice, they get blunted, they cannot do justice with reference to you. So their words, such a great scholar, such a great person like Brahma and other devas also, their effort to praise you also falls short of your true glory. Okay. Because as Nirguna Brahman who is free from all gunas, you are beyond the scope of words. So, because you are beyond the scope of all the sense organs, beyond the scope of the mind. So Upanishad says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. So words cannot describe, mind also cannot conceptualize. Okay, let me praise as Saguna with all attributes. Why not? That also is difficult because Gita says he is the Adikarta, Brahmadinam api Adikarta. He is the creator of even Brahmaji onwards, he is the creator of everybody. Then that is so. When that is so Bhagavan says in the Gita, Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayaha. Aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. So, when I am the creator of everyone, even the devas, the groups of devas also don't know me properly. Even Maharshis don't know my Prabhava properly. So because I have existed even before that. See, like we can know, sir, after we are born, after we can have some understanding, then we know something about our parents. What they were before we were born, we can never know. Same thing when everybody is created by Ishvara, what all is his Mahima, nobody can know. So, right from Brahmaji onwards, everybody's words, let them be any great scholars, let them be endowed with great powers, etc., still everybody's words will fall short of your glory. When that is so, then this lack of samarthyam, this lack of capacity to praise you is common to all people. When that is so, you can say either no one is qualified to write anything about you, no one is qualified to say anything about you, or because everybody's praise will fall short, everybody is qualified. Okay, whatever you can do, everybody is qualified because everybody's words are going to fall short of what he is. So, atha, or else, sarvaha avachyaha anindyaha. So, everybody whatever words anybody writes, everyone is beyond criticism. Nobody can be criticized for falling short of what Bhagavan is, because Brahma's words also fall short. And human beings' words also are going to fall short. So, Swamati Parinama Avadhi Grinan. So, saying, writing, Grinan. Okay. Swamati Parinama Avadhi. Everybody writes. So, they praise you according to the capacity of his or her own intellect. So, nobody can be criticized because that much is their intellect, what they understand, they praise. So, you can say, all birds are equal in that they can fly. But still, with reference to the height to which they can fly, birds are different, like eagles, falcons, etc. can fly very high. But then, again from another angle, no bird, however high it can fly, it can never go beyond space. So, in that everybody is equal. Everybody can say some words, everybody is equal. Some people may be able to give better praise of Bhagavan, in that way they may be superior. But still, again everybody becomes equal because everybody's praise is going to fall short of what Bhagavan is. So, like another example I'll give. So, almost everybody can cook. Okay? So among them, some people can cook wonderfully. They can also be great chefs. But even the greatest chef can never say, I have reached perfection in cooking. So no more improvement is possible, they cannot say. So as everyone's cooking is subject to improvement, then nobody stops cooking. See, my cooking is not, if everybody starts saying, my cooking is not wonderful, it has a lot to be improved, therefore I'm not going to cook. What will happen to all the household? So everybody cooks, okay, knowing I cannot be a chef, I cannot be a perfectionist, I cannot be a perfect cook. Still they continue to cook. So here says, according whatever be one's capacity to describe in words, since everyone's words will fall short of Lord's true greatness, so either nobody should praise or any and everyone can praise. And this example also, beautiful example, Puja Swamiji will give. So some people are all talking. Then in that there is a mother of a newborn baby. Some newborn or some few months. Suddenly the mother steps out and says, my baby is crying, it wants milk. Some blah blah blah, something that child is saying. The mother can understand that the child is asking for milk. It's only blabbering, prattling something. Still mother can understand. If a mother can understand what is the blabbering of a child, Bhagavan can understand anybody's praise, whatever they have in their meaning. So therefore, everybody is qualified. Everybody's attitude, everybody's effort and capacity, Bhagavan accepts and Bhagavan will definitely, receive it. Okay. So, He Hara. Padma, you have a book. You can take from there. So, in the last line, there is He Hara. So, Hara is a name of generally Shiva. And Hari is usually the name of Vishnu. But actually in Shiva Ashtottara you have both also Haraya Namaha, Haraye Namaha also. Both of them come from the same verbal root. And it has this meaning that Harati means takes away. So you can give different meanings. Deenartim Harati iti Haraha. One who takes away the difficulties, the problems of a helpless person, helpless devotee. Harati bhaktanam papani dukkani iti cha haraha. One who removes our papa, who removes our dukkha. Therefore he is called Hara. And samhara kale sarvam harati. At the time of dissolution, he removes everything, he takes away. Therefore, by addressing Shiva as Hara, the author is indicating that since you are capable of removing everybody's papa and everybody's dukkha, grief, so you will also remove my mistakes and not give it importance. So no, so I need not specially offer another prayer for forgiveness. Stotre yeshaha mama parikaraha avachyaha. So mama parikaraha, my undertaking, my beginning, my effort put in to start praising you, this effort of mine, this undertaking of mine to write a stotra about you is avachyaha. With all the arguments that I have given, it is not to be blamed, it is not to be censured. So it is vachya means something that can be questioned, that can be condemned. Avachyaha, it cannot be condemned, it cannot be. So, why did you say that even Brahmaji cannot describe in words? Okay, so already I pointed out, as Nirguna Brahman is also beyond the scope of words, and Saguna Brahman also, that is Saguna Brahman means Lord with attributes, that also the number of attributes he has is countless. So why Brahmaji also cannot describe in words is being pointed out in the next shloka. Atitah pantanam tava cha mahima vang banasayo atad vyavritya yam chakitam abhidatte shrutirapi chakitam abhidatte shrutirapi sakasya stotavyah kati vidha gunah kasya vishayah pade tvarvachine patati namanah kasya navachah. There is a cha in the first line. Cha further. Tava mahima. Tavacha mahima is there. Cha further. Tava mahima. So your glory, your greatness. Vang manasayoho pantanam atitaha. Atitaha, it means it is beyond. Beyond the pantanam, the path, the scope of Vang manasayoho, of words and mind. Now, generally, in Vedanta, as we see, so we as I already told you in the introduction, so the ultimate truth is something that cannot have a form, cannot have any attributes. Because if you look at it, if you give any particular form, that means you are saying all other forms are not the Lord's forms. That means you are limiting Ishvara. If you say he has got, it's a he, then it's not a she, then again you are limiting Ishvara. If you say they have got some attributes, that means the opposite attributes are not there, again limiting Ishvara. So the ultimate truth should be nirguna, nirakara. It should be something free of attributes, free of any form. But it is not possible for everybody to understand a concept that has no form, it has no attributes. See, here I have to, because we are going to discuss Ishvara, I have to say some facts. I am going to do a general criticism. It's not criticizing any particular religion or anything, you should understand. Now people say that Lord has no form, so you Hindus are all worshipping all sorts of forms. So Lord doesn't have any form. If Lord doesn't have any form, then our Father who is in heaven, okay, why is a father? The moment you say father, not mother, not anything else. It's a male, not a female. But then what about the mother? How did we all come without a mother? Then in heaven, if God is only in heaven, that means He is not here. Then again limitation. Everything that it is there is limited. So you start off with a faith or under that when the elders say that the ultimate truth should be formless, attributeless. But since the human mind cannot, and the beginning cannot understand or relate to something that doesn't have a form or doesn't have attributes, we sort of, the Shastra itself gives some attributes and forms. And again also, if an attributeless thing has to create, so there is a particular Shakti, it is called Maya Shakti. And through that Maya Shakti, we say that Brahman becomes the creator, the protector and sustainer, and the one who dissolves the entire universe at the end. Okay. Then even that greatness, that is the creator, is the sustainer, and it is the person who is ultimately dissolves everything, is very difficult to understand. According to our Hindu Puranas and all that, we got 84 lakh types of Jivarashis. That itself is mind-boggling. Still people in botany and zoology and other things, they are still finding new species, new subspecies, etc., all of them. So you go to Discovery Channel, you go to Animal Planet, etc., the number of animals, the number of birds, the aquatics, insects, worms, viruses, all mind-boggling number of species. Botany, mind-boggling number of plants and creepers and trees and whatnot. You take any field, astronomy, astrology, galaxies, Milky Ways, planets, comets, again mind-boggling. You can't even think of such things. So think of all the rivers, oceans, rocks, minerals, everything in this world, again it's mind-boggling. So all these are supposed to be created means, by that Ishvara means how great that Ishvara should be. So it is, even with all the attributes in this form, etc., giving attributes and functions to Ishvara itself, we cannot understand. And that's why Bhagavan says in the Gita, I have nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa yeshatu uddeshataha proktaha vibhuter vistaro maya. So he says, my glory, I have just enumerated a few. Offhand, I have enumerated a few. There is no end to saying talking of all my glories. So he himself says that. So any 108 names is Bhagavan's Vibhuti. Why only 108 names? Sahasranama, 1000 names also, they are also Bhagavan's glory. Only 1000 namas for Ishvara? No, countless. Sahasra really indicates countless. So from different aspects you can keep on seeing the glory of Ishvara. Whole creation is Lord's Mahima, greatness. We are still only trying to discover what all is present in the creation. There are so many things which still have not been discovered. Still trying to figure out what has so far been discovered, that also we don't know still. And so whatever is there in one field of science, nobody can say in this field, in this particular field, I am an expert, I have found out everything that is to be, nobody can say that. That is why always there is a possibility of, there is no dearth of topics for doing PhD. There are always so many topics still are available. Okay. And even a Nobel laureate or an expert in a field cannot say, I know everything in my branch, let alone, let alone about other branches of science. But human beings have got generally a funny this thing. If somebody is a Nobel laureate in one field, we think that that person is qualified to make comments about every other field. So that's a wrong thing. Of course, they may be, because they are good in that field, they may have a more logical mind, a better way of understanding things. Still, they may not be experts in all other fields. So, and what we ordinary people cannot even understand what all scientists know. When that is the thing, Tava Mahima, your Mahima greatness is incomprehensible, indescribable. Again, Vak, our organ of speech, can only describe what our indriyas, what our sense organs can perceive. Then also it cannot do justice to it. Okay? The sweetness felt by the tongue. So what is sweetness? Can you describe in words? What is the difference between the sweetness of sugar, sweetness of jaggery, sweetness of mango, sweetness of, any other thing that is there? So even what is the sweetness of mango, what is the sweetness of banana, what is the sweetness of sapota, if somebody is asked, all that you can see is put it in your tongue and then see the difference. Don't ask me to describe in words. So when that is so, words have got a scope only with reference to certain things. Okay, this will come back at 10:30 and then see the next session. Today alone, 10:30 to 11:30, the next session will be. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.